Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, welcome in. Hi. We're multi-streaming on YouTube today, testing out the limits of what YouTube likes me to do. Just up front, I've been feeling a bit off my game since last week. So that's why I chose this, because I could just sit back and like just watch and enjoy and have fun, right? I don't have to go into deep philosophical things, whatever. I'm gonna need to make sure that I actually keep track of the YouTube side of things, because last time I was surprised by the stream going down, so I need to make sure that doesn't happen again. Yeah, okay, this is what I need to open. And yes, awesome. Okay, so hi everyone. Oriel Chronos, Mimi Himiko Toga, welcome in. I really appreciate you always stopping by. Ooh, there's one thing I forgot to do. Oops. Let's make a playlist, but it's fine. I can just go to the actual page. Oh, there's something I want to watch later, because I don't think we're gonna watch all 5 episodes realistically today. With my with like the rate I react to things. Each episode is like 30 minutes long. That would mean just the runtime would be 2.5 hours. I don't think we're gonna make that. So I might want to watch Ludwig's video on... Oh, that's not what I was clicking on. Oh, I thought I clicked on it. About the MrBeast stuff. And if you're like, what's the MrBeast stuff this time around? Oh man, God, I tell you. So he has a platform called ViewStats that is meant to be similar to Social Blade, but more accurate, and to most degrees it is. It shows you how many subscribers someone has, just a bunch of statistics, but it's also really handy for you as a creator to have access to those statistics. Because, well, some if not most of them are available in your YouTube dashboard. It's, you have to do a lot more thinking and math and like putting together things. It's like the YouTube system is not great in that regard. So that was a good thing. But then he decided, oh, I want to make things easier for people and have tools be more accessible to people. So how about I make an AI program for inspiration for thumbnails, but then he goes on to literally say like, oh, now you can actually like generate thumbnails. And it's not just AI thumbnails. It also has the AI to put in your face in different people's thumbnails. And there's so many yikes parts about that. But also, for me personally, I am a freelance thumbnail artist. So like, this is literally how I pay my bills. And he is gonna make it AI. Really badly so as well. Because it just takes data of viral videos and also videos in a similar topic and just mashes it together. And well, yeah, it might look like a viral thumbnail. It just lacks everything that made the original ones it's based on like an actual thing. You know, while I'm talking about it, might as well just watch this video on it. It's like 13 minutes long, and then we go into whatever. Because I've been frustrated about this shit all weekend. And I'm like, wow. Also, the backlash was big enough for MrBeast to actually delete his own tweet. But because Drama Alert also tweeted the video, you can still see what he did, and it's bad. It's like bad. Okay, so let's just do that first. So I can actually like show you guys how bad it is. I'm gonna get so tilted from this. But I love Ludwig's covering of stuff like this. Oh, this is also a really funny YouTube tidbit that a lot of people might not know. The reason why he, like, blurs his chat at the beginning is because if someone says a swear word or something that the YouTube system might pick up as, like, a bad word, his video might get demonetized, he might get a community guideline strike, and that hurts. Like, that has real consequences. So the best part is just to just blur the entire chat for the first, like, what, 10 seconds of the video? Yeah, it seems to be like 15. Just to be safe. Anyway, let's just watch this. Before I get tilted.
Some crazy shit. If you guys haven't seen the latest drama involving MrBeast, has to do with AI. Now he has this company called ViewStats, which, as far as I can tell, is a competitor to like a Social Blade or any of those like creator helper tools. And he's quite deeply tied into it. I've seen him tweet about it before. Has it on the homepage. ViewStats powered.
Oh, yeah. I use the ViewStats plugin. Wait, why is it not showing up in this video? Anyway, I use the ViewStats plugin. It's just not showing currently. I don't know why. It should be here. Oh, yeah, no. The stupid plugin has me bugging me every single time. And now I want to show it. It's not there. Anyway, I use it because it's a good plugin.
MrBeast. And the latest feature that they
I might delete it now.
Is actually on their homepage, AI thumbnails. And so this was the video he had to announce it. Let's just watch it together. I haven't seen this yet.
Looking viral thumbnails with zero Photoshop experience. And the best part is, this new method works in every...
You know what the saddest part is? What he did here? That doesn't actually require a lot of Photoshop skills. It's literally... You cut out someone's PNG, you put it on there, and like maybe the face on it might be a bit harder. But like, this is not complicated at all. I think I can make, like, I can teach someone this in like an hour? Tops? Also, welcome in Sakura Haruka.
Experience. And the best part is, this new method works in every niche. Whether you do gaming, cooking, beauty, this works for all of them. From creating custom results from any channel to literally...
Oh yeah, and he shows a bunch of channels and all of those people are like, you put me in here against my consent. You're promoting AI using my channels. It's crazy.
On a thumbnail, it literally feels like cheating. This is the home of the AI tool where you can type in any channel on all.
Oh yeah, and here too.
Use it as
Jacksepticeye was not happy.
So for example, let's say you're MrBeast. You would just type in MrBeast here. Now it's gonna look at all my recent videos and get inspiration from them. And for the prompt,
it's funny it was phrased, it feels like cheating, because it is stealing. Because I mean, yeah, I guess in a way it is cheating.
I'm gonna type in stranded on a volcano. And there you go, we now have a thumbnail with me dangling on the side of a volcano.
It looks so bad.
For inspiration, and if you
like the face looks so bad.
This is how you can literally generate your thumbnails.
I think that's fine. Okay, I'm gonna have a scorching hot take off the rip here. I think if you use that as your final AI thumbnail, right, this generative image, it won't perform well.
Yeah, no, that's because it's just off-putting. Like, there's just also this thing where in MrBeast thumbnails and people just try to mimic MrBeast, they, like, you can create this and it would still look off-putting without AI. And to be fair, a lot of his thumbnails do look like that, but because it's a lot of PNGs put together and then highly polished to make it look like they exist in the same universe. So it already looks weird and off-putting, but at least like you can make it yourself. And it's still not that complicated. You do need like to know how certain things work in Photoshop. But it's mostly finding the right assets and putting them together. And I do make it sound like it's really easy, but it's not that complicated. I think most people can learn it. And not even in that much time.
This shouldn't be your final thumbnail. If it is, I don't think it'll do well most of the time. I think people don't
also like look at how big the head is
in thumbnails.
Oh, that's because There's this stupid thing where people, like, if you put in, like, custom heads, people make the face bigger than the rest of the body, mostly, like, to attract people's eyes. But because that's a trend, the AI also picks up on that. So that's why it looks so stupid. It's because we already been doing that, and AI is just interpolating that without knowing what the fuck it does.
If they even think things are AI, they're very antagonistic towards the product. It procs aggro instantly if you think something AI. To the point where I hired an artist from Hungary to make me art, and people thought it was AI, and they all were really fucking mean to her, even though she just spent hours drawing. But
oh yeah, I saw that. It was so sad.
If you're taking him at face value, and you made this as inspiration, and then you sent this to a thumbnail designer, and then they made a thumbnail that was like this with actual Photoshop tools in pictures, that'd be good. So for example, like right now, the issue is I'm not good at drawing. So what I'm drawing is like, okay, there's me, this is a volcano, and I have to do this, send the screenshot, and explain what everything is. But if I can just say, hey, I want me and there's a volcano on the right exploding and I'm looking really scared, and type it into something and then send this picture, that's actually good. If you are coming from a perspective of environmental or like a Luddite perspective where
I can see what he is saying here, but I feel like he has this bias as being the creator and struggling with finding references or things. But from someone who is also the person that makes thumbnails, if someone sent me an AI reference, I would decline the commission. Even if they paid, I would refund it. I'm like, it's your channel. Put in at least a little bit of effort in it. Like, I also like the commissions where someone says, okay, this is the video, make something you think is good. But if someone comes to me like, oh, I want this, and it's an AI generated image, I think them showing me the fucking prompt would have been more helpful. If you can make up the prompt, or you can make a stick figure drawing that he just showed, that's a lot more useful for like the designer perspective. Because if someone showed me this, I would already be biased by what the AI made. So even though it's like I am not AI and what I make is not AI, it's still influenced by AI. And that's not, I don't think that's a good thing, because you can probably still tell.
The inclusion of this is a slippery slope that will eventually delete the artist's inclusion at all. That's another conversation.
At least he addresses that.
From a creator perspective, where you want to be the best YouTuber you can be, this is a good thing. It helps make your job easier.
Dude, you can also just go on Google, slap together some really cringe PNGs, and be like, oh, this is my face, and this is the body from like a stock photo website, and this is the background. Because usually you can also download stock photos, but just with a watermark, and you just cannot use them commercially, but you can still use them for references. Just make something crudely made. You don't even need Photoshop for that. You can use Canva. That is like, if you can open an AI program and type a prompt, you can also send that prompt to the artist. If you can, like, I'm getting so fed up with this.
Easier paint tool.
Okay, I know. I'm already pausing. There's this thing with YouTubers where they're always looking for the easy way out. And sometimes when they're big, like Ludwig, and I've got a few more examples I'm not going to name names of, they become detached of some parts of the creative process that they're not really thinking it through. And that's where, like, even being like, oh, using AI as a reference you send to an artist, it's not a bad thing. We also don't like artists tracing AI. What the fuck do you think an AI reference for a thumbnail would feel like for people? And there's also this thing where thumbnail artists might feel pressured into doing it. And if it comes out it's based on AI, the thumbnail artist is in trouble. Not the creator that sent it. No hate to Ludwig, by the way, but I'm just...
You know, this is perfect for inspiration, and if you do a couple iterations with the system, this is how you can literally generate your thumbnails going forward. Now let's say you don't want...
Yeah, and that's where what I say. Like, he goes from, oh, you can use this as inspiration, but if you use it enough, you can just generate your thumbnails. My guy.
I'm gonna take inspiration from a YouTube channel.
Well, I'm gonna back up a bit, because what is bad is he likes saying inspiration, but let's go here.
Creating custom results from any channel to literally being able to put your face on a thumbnail.
This is the bad thing.
It literally feels like cheating. This is the home of the...
Okay, I need to look up a tweet where someone had a screenshot of MrBeast saying, like, oh my god, people are stealing my thumbnails, that's so bad. And now he's actively promoting, like, exactly that. Where is it? Okay, so this is a tweet by Point Crow, where he basically says, like, so MrBeast gets complained about channel stealing his thumbnails, then turn around and make a tool that does the same thing but faster and cheaper. And it's literally like a tweet from MrBeast from 2021. I remember this. Where he's like, oh, the largest channel in Russia just staked my thumbnails and photoshops his face on mine. And like, it literally is. Like, he takes the thumbnails and like just photoshops the other person in it. And he got so upset by that. But like, he at least puts in the effort to Photoshop himself in there, right? Do I think this is okay? No. I think this is cheap. And like, I can get behind people that take a thumbnail and just recreate it. Like, if they had like a similar shot of a car that they just took of like their own car in a very similar way and just remade the thumbnail, that would have been so different than just straight up taking the thumbnail and recoloring something or putting someone else's face in it or whatever. That's like, those are two different things. Is this smart? Oh, hell yeah. But he gets so upset by this. And I think there were more instances where he was like, people are stealing my thumbnails. I'm not okay with that. Can you please stop? And then he makes a tool that's literally like, oh, here's an AI tool, so you don't even need the skills to do this. You don't even have to do it yourself. This tool can do it for you. But you cannot steal mine, though. Just other people's. Like, what is your problem, Jimmy?
This is the thing, the first 20 seconds, this is the thing where he says it feels like cheating, and he uses the term inspiration, but this wouldn't be for inspiration. It is factually true. Like, it's inarguably true that stolen thumbnails perform sometimes as well, if not better, than the original thumbnail they're inspired by. In fact, one of the most viewed mogul mails I ever made was about Drew Does' video about staying in capsule hotels, how Brent Rivera stole the thumbnail concept. If I'm gonna actually
Okay, but that's a thumbnail concept, like I explained earlier. Okay, hold on, can I... It's like, he just recreated a thumbnail. It looks very similar. But he at least took his own pictures. He did make sure to like wear the same color shirt, have a similar angle, but he recreated the shot. So there was human effort. Not a lot of creativity, but like... Do you get what I mean? There's like certain degrees of stealing thumbnails and stealing content. But if at the very least you fully recreate it with your own assets, I have still somewhat respect for you, because a lot of people steal thumbnail concepts. This is a bit too on the nose, but I can do a whole video on people stealing thumbnail ideas. And even Ludwig is even Ludwig does that.
Concept. If I'm going to actually for a second give some credit to Brent Rivera, he went to Japan, he went to the Capsule Hotel, and he actually took the picture. I still think what he did was bad, but at least he did that. Imagine if all he did was use an AI tool, drag and dropped his face onto somebody else's thumbnail, and then uploaded that video.
Oh, this is a good example of what I said earlier about thumbnails nowadays already kind of look off-putting. Because I'm pretty sure this is like a handmade thumbnail. But because it doesn't look realistic, it's already off-putting. So if it's AI, it's even worse. There's a non-zero chance this is an AI thumbnail, but I have seen handmade thumbnails look exactly like this.
Yeah, right? We already think what Brent Rivera did was scummy. I think that's like 10 times scummier. And I think Point Crow on Twitter actually brought up a good point.
Oh, he put the same tweet.
He in the past has literally complained about the channel A4, the Russian channel, for stealing thumbnails and photoshopping his face on MrBeast's and then uploading videos with that. He's literally complained about this exact phenomenon while at the same time championing its existence in a tool that he is selling. It's A to B hypocritical. Now, for a moment, okay, if we were to remove MrBeast's inclusion, this would be a cheat code. It is a cheat code. I think it's a bad thing. I don't like the idea. I'm not encouraging it to happen, but it would basically skip all the steps that YouTubers have had to take in the past, which is trial and error with thumbnails, your thumbnails sucking for several years, slowly developing your craft and your identity in the thumbnail space, hiring people to do it at a level higher than yourself, learning to do it yourself. Like, it skips all that and you just start fucking ripping shit.
Okay, but if you never learn that through trial and error or like working with someone that does know their stuff, you will also not recognize when an AI generated thumbnail actually sucks because you are just looking at it from the aesthetics. And like aesthetic thumbnails can work really well. Welcome in, Siggy AG. Aesthetic thumbnails can work really well. I love them. I make them myself. But they're usually with a purpose. But if you're not putting that purpose behind it or like have the thought process, even if they look exactly like a MrBeast thumbnail, they're like, you also have to deliver on what you promise. So if you have a MrBeast type thumbnail, people expect a MrBeast type video. So if it's just like a really like shittily shot video with terrible audio, it's actually gonna hurt your channel more than if you just made a shitty ass thumbnail because you will be delivering on what you promise. That's like a whole thing I can also get into at some point, not today, about thumbnails matching the content. If you have an amazing thumbnail, but the content doesn't match it, same for the other way around. If you don't have a good thumbnail, but you have an amazing content, there's chances people won't click on it. Or they expect like really cozy, like vlog type video. And it's like a high production thing. So you're also not delivering on what you promised.
Copyright
I also don't support AI content. Yeah.
Then you have fair use.
It's
if it's on
so
YouTube,
bad.
You can't copy other channels without getting claimed. I don't know if YouTube has a feature to auto report channels whose
There's no auto feature, but you can report people for their thumbnails. And the only reason I know this is because Nichi Sanji did this to target some news tubers, because they used copyrighted PNGs in the thumbnails, and you can use them as fans as long as you adhere to the fan guidelines, and they were not, clearly. So that almost took down two really big news channels in the VTuber sphere. So it exists. But it would be nice if just like the video content, YouTube would also have like some system to also detect similarities in thumbnails. But sadly, I do think that a system like that would require some sort of AI. Thank you for the follow, C Sacking. Welcome in. But I do think it is possible for YouTube to apply a similar system as that they have to recognize videos, because I know that system can also recognize screenshots. How old are you? I'm 25. So I know the system that YouTube has in place for videos also can recognize screenshots. That's how a lot of YouTubers sometimes get claimed for just using a single screenshot of like One Piece or whatever. So they should be able to put in a system that recognizes thumbnails. We were all fearing it taking our real jobs, but it comes for creative jobs first. And when I heard about this, I thought that was insane. The point of creativity is to create something. So what's the point of this creation? Making money. Things being easier, quicker, and whatever. Yeah, everyone is scared sometimes. I'm gonna warn you, if you're gonna say some weird shit, don't, okay? I've had people with first-time chatters ask me random questions and try to trick me anything. If you're gonna do that, just don't.
Thumbnails are identical to yours. But in the wake of AI thumbnails should be, it's YouTube's job to give you the tools to protect your work. And they do it with your videos, right? If you get content ID matched. So they need to be able to do it for thumbnails as well.
To show you how all out we went on this AI thumbnail tool, you can also copy a URL from any YouTube video. We'll just paste this one I have here. And in the prompt box, just tell it what to change in the thumbnail. To demonstrate, I have this F1 thumbnail with an F1 car. And so in the prompt, I'm just gonna simply type in, change F1 car to minivan. That is all I'm typing in. I'm gonna hit generate. Let's see what it produces. And boom, it's done.
I'm so upset by this. It has a white background. You can literally put this in paint. Like literally paint over with white. And chuck in a PNG of a minivan. Why do you need AI to do that for you? Are people like, I don't know. It's so sad people need AI to even do that. Like, I can see that people struggle with making the more fancy thumbnails. But come on! So what about the people for the passion who want to make great things? They can no longer be recognized because AI can do it better than you. Yeah, no, that's like a big thing happening right now. There's like a whole subset of people on Twitter that are like, why would I pay someone if I can just do it myself and it looks better? And like, it doesn't though. Aesthetically, maybe. But it's so off-putting. It lacks any soul. It's stolen. And like, even if it didn't destroy the planet, having something that's stolen and be proud of it is like mental illness. I don't like saying it like that. I have several mental illnesses. But if you go around and be proud of something that was stolen and is like hurting people and you're actually taking someone's job and you're also insulting them in the same breath, being like, oh, but this looks better than what you would make and your stuff is like not worth that amount of money even though you would spend like 20 hours on it. I feel like that's like, wow, no, that's yikes. Your thumbnail to me is original. I literally see how much effort you made. Unlike this, it's so hollow. It is. It's like,
swapped out the F1 race car for a new.
And the problem with this is, it's probably not even like accurate to the actual car because AI generated it. You can get PNGs. You can get most cars have PNGs available. You can just use that. It's not that complicated. Yeah, that's a good point. At no point in history have we ever needed AI. We never had this thought like, ugh, I can't make a poster perfect an image. There needs to be something that creates it perfectly. And like, obviously, I have had in the past that I wanted to make a graphic and I just really struggled with it and it was really infuriating. But because I came up with a solution myself, however scuffed, I always did it myself. And I learned something in the process. And I know not everyone cares about that, right? But people can see if like effort was put into it. And sometimes scuffs has charm. Before we had printers, people still made posters. Before we had printers, people still made books and newspapers. Like, we are... Or just take a photo of an item and crop it to the extent where it's just the item and shows not the background. People literally do that. Yeah. But, like, we used to make books before we could print things. And then we learned how to print things, but because it wasn't automated, people had to literally put in the letters and the numbers in manually, and people still did that. Sometimes imperfection has charm, exactly. And these days people are craving that more than ever. Oh yeah, I've actually started making my thumbnails look worse. Because I know people care about the human aspect. So I'd rather have scuff than a perfect thumbnail, especially in this day and age. I still like making my thumbnails. But I don't do it for every video anymore. Thank you for the follow, the real Mr. Penguin.
Minivan.
This is tough. Because the outcome of this, I mean, I guess you can kind of tell the minivan's AI. The issue here, okay, the issue with this is even if YouTube now has a tool to content ID thumbnails, the only thing you would have to do is if you swapped your face on somebody's thumbnail, then you use this AI tool to slightly change other things about thumbnails. It's basically like copying somebody's essay in high school and then using a thesaurus to change words so you don't get caught. AI
Dude, that's still so much more effort than just making the thumbnail yourself.
I think it's bad grounds to stand on. I think a lot of you guys like to stand on the grounds that AI looks bad. And I think for now, you're right, but you will be proven wrong. If the only ground you stand on is that it looks bad or it's ugly, you will lose that fight. You just will.
Okay, there's also this thing where, like, even if it looks good, there's still, like, if you're into art stuff, you know something is wrong with it, even if it looks good. I wish I could read chat as fluently as you. I can barely read. I have 3 years of practice. There's people who draw their own thumbnails, but not detail, it's just sketch, and I love it because there's uniqueness to it. Oh, yeah. This looks weird. Yeah.
That's what it looks like now, right? And you can sit there.
You can tell it's not from Minecraft because so many things are wrong with it. But if you're not familiar with the Minecraft art style, you would still recognize it as Minecraft. And it will get better. That's the problem. It will become better.
And be like, that's the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen. A human artist is going to look amazing. But then some of you motherfuckers go to my subreddit and rag on an artist who drew shit with her fucking hand because you thought it was AI. That's just the reality. That happened. That's a real thing that happened. Several of you were mean as fuck to a legitimate artist who I hired who did work for 10 hours because you thought it was AI. And it's only going to get worse because AI is only getting better. And it's getting better very quickly. So I don't think it's worth even like entertaining an argument that the AI looks bad because you are right in a lot of cases. That won't last long. I understand the job concerns. As a fact, time and time again, every time technology has threatened people's livelihoods, they have lost the fight against the technology improving. It's literally the same fight the Luddites had when like hand sewn textile mills were being replaced by the Industrial Revolution. They lost that fight. We have shirts made in factories now. So to be honest, like what I think is the most realistic path forward for the spheres where AI impacts me is tools to combat it and protect my work. Because here's another hot.
Oh yeah, that's also a thing. Oh man. I do think AI is gonna be so good at some point that now we're pointing out flaws in AI to prove it's AI, but I think it will become so good that we will start pointing out the flaws in actual art to prove it's real. And I think we're not far away from that, because remember when AI just like made weird like hallucinations almost, and now things are like actually looking realistic. There's still components to it that just made it uncanny valley, but it's generating like these videos of where people go up to random people in the streets and like ask them questions. Aside from the fact that what they're saying is not making that much sense, it's becoming really hard to distinguish. Not really. If the AI keeps getting fed fake Minecraft from the other AI, it will continue to look weird. But that's the problem. Currently, actual Minecraft stuff outnumbers AI by a lot. So unless it starts to like cannibalize on itself, that it's not gonna do anything. The grass and the flowers don't even look like Minecraft. Yeah, but that's because you know what Minecraft looks like. There's people that have like a faint understanding of like, oh, Minecraft is that funny block game. Well, you see block, you see like colors similar to Minecraft. You see a giant block in the middle. So people that don't really consume Minecraft content, they won't know. Never had the urge to use AI, not to create a script or anything. The only thing I use AI for is to sort tags for my videos. That's because it's super laborious and I can never think of how many. Oh, I use a tool, and I'm not sure if it uses AI. But it shows oh yeah, it has AI in it, but I tend to ignore this tab. But it shows you tags on people's videos, and it ranks them on how popular they are. On what it would rank as in like, oh, if people would look for this word in the search bar, where would this video end up? And I use that on my own videos because it's super helpful. And with tags, I just max it out whenever I can. And I agree, it's super laborious, but it's like, we as humanity also got lazy. Lazy as shit. What's this? Oh, this! Yeah, okay, hold on. I've seen this. This is really bad. So this is an anime dubbed by AI.
Let alone Shiyao. Girls like handsome, charming studs like me.
In your dreams!
Why is it, okay, why did it generate like a vague, like Chinese sounding accent to something that's meant to be in English? Maybe because there's like Chinese names. Tries to max it, but then you know, when you get those moments where your brain turns off, you just can't think anymore. I really encourage people that are using AI for tedious tasks like that, not just because it's AI. I urge them to like try and keep that skill up. Oh. Okay, wait. It saw that I was reacting to that, and it's copyrighted, so okay, everything is good. Okay, if you don't keep up a skill, you will lose it, and that's something that. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no! I'm on YouTube, so like I need to be careful regardless. So you see that with a lot of people nowadays because they use AI for like they use ChatGPT for simple things like what should I eat tonight? Where should I go on a date? Write this essay for me. People are losing skills and actually losing cognitive brain functions. And I wish I was making this up, but it genuinely is like that. Because people are using AI to do it for them. They never honed the skill to begin with. And at some point in life, learning becomes really, really hard. And you're not retaining new skills as well as you used to. Or it needs a lot more time. So if you're in school, you're supposed to learn how to write essays. You're supposed to learn how to dissect sentences and understand grammar, and like for things where you have to write like a thesis to get your master's or whatever. They're not just doing it to test your knowledge, they're also teaching you a skill you will need. And a lot of people are just skipping over that. Even people that go to school voluntarily, like you don't have to go to college. And people are choosing to go to college to get a specific job, but they're still cheating their way through with AI. And then they realize when they got the job that they don't know how to do the job. So even for small things like that, try and do it yourself. Take notes so you know for next time, because if you lose that skill, it will put you at a disadvantage. Don't worry, it's not, that's the only thing. Oh, I'm not saying that's like specifically to you, but like just in general. Keep up the skills. Even for stuff tedious like that. Because I struggle with it a lot. Never used AI to create tags, but I just learned what worked. I studied other people's videos, and now I can just do it in less than 5 minutes. And I kind of got a hang on it now. And because I taught myself that lesson, I don't need another tool, but also I have an understanding on why it works and how it works, and I can help other people, and I can also apply it to new things. This is the reason why voice actors want protection from the studios from AI. There's so many dramas for it. Yeah, it's really... Don't worry, I get your saying in general. I just don't want to make any misconception. No, it's completely fine. I am also not gonna like judge people too harshly, because it's becoming really normal. And there's so many things in this world that are wrong and ethically wrong. Like, I'm streaming on Twitch, who is owned by Amazon. Well, we all know what Amazon does. It's super unethical to support Amazon, but like, this is where the market is. This is the platform. There's not really that many alternatives that are better and actually work. I also make videos on YouTube, and YouTube like is owned by Google, and Google has massive AI subproducts. They're trying to force AI on my phone. I cannot run away from it. I can just make the conscious effort to not use it whenever I can and still hone my own skills or hire someone else to use their skills. That's the best you can do. But like I did say, if I got a commission from someone to make a thumbnail and they showed me an AI reference, I would refund the commission. Because I don't want to work like that. Let's continue watching.
If you start as a YouTuber today, you are going to be way worse at improving as a YouTuber without using AI. It would be quicker. It would expedite your improvement as a YouTuber if you were to use AI.
But that is not AI's fault. So YouTube had to go through all these phases where people learned how to do things. And if you've been on a platform for like, say, 10 years, you started in the time where everyone's thumbnails were quirky and scuffed and like slightly a bit weird, but also the editing was weirder. But now things evolved, and especially for people that have been making content for 10 years, they can afford people to do the editing for them, to make the thumbnails for them. So the ceiling is a lot higher. But then there are people that are trying to replicate that when they're a one-man team, like me, and it's impossible. But AI is not going to make a difference in that. I think it's going to make everything worse. And eventually, it's not going to help you, because trends come and go. And we already see the trend of where like the hyper edited stuff and like the hyper quality stuff is falling off. People want the more authentic stuff. People just want a vlog that's just filmed with limited cuts and edits. Just authentic. That's why people love IRL streams that much. So if you're only using AI, and AI can only do the highly polished things, as soon as the trends switch to being more scuffed and more authentic, you don't know what the fuck to do. You didn't learn the skill, you didn't get the knowledge. You only can do what the AI can do for you. You don't understand why things aren't working. So if you keep continuing with things that are not the current trends, and you fall off, you're gonna just blame AI. Wouldn't algorithm be considered AI? No, the algorithm is closer to like a whole string of calculations and an automated database. While AI is, like it says, an fuck me, what's the word? Wow, English is like leaving my brain currently. Artificial intelligence. It's fake intelligence. It's trying to fake human consciousness and use that to generate things. And it's trying to be smarter than humans. So it's also like heavily trying to replace things. It's like if you have, just like show you what algorithms like can do. If you have a spreadsheet and you automated like a whole bunch of numbers getting subtracted and like a total amount of everything you put in a spreadsheet, that's just automated. Because it's a whole bunch of calculations stringed into other calculations, and with pre-applied logic, it's just working exactly what it was programmed to do. Artificial intelligence is basically you have a fake human mind you're asking questions to, and because that mind is tapped into the literal internet, they don't have to tap into memories or look it up. They can literally like get it out of their memory and tell you. Thank you for the subscription, Nancy Augustine. Welcome in. And like the biggest difference between an algorithm is that an algorithm has rules that are preset and have limits. And you have to keep tweaking it because data changes all the time. So there's active human input. It's just automated stuff that humans already came up with. While an artificial intelligence is learning and automating things in their own way. There's no human compound to it aside from programming the AI. But it had, and maybe giving the AI a limit so it doesn't like create illegal things, right? Or assess illegal things or accesses databases that shouldn't be public. But it's its own mind. I mean, you obviously also have the Hoya Voice work refusal, but that isn't part of the strike. Yeah, but that's part of the whole anti-AI thing. It's not part of the strike, but it's still like an ethical stance.
AI doesn't make you a better YouTuber. Not like directly, no. And to be honest, I think most people, because I think this product is like $70 a month or some shit. Is that right, chat? I think most people who...
It's $80 a month. You can literally get a Photoshop subscription and Adobe stock subscription for less than that.
Spend $80 a month for a tool to improve as a YouTuber like ViewStats are actually pretty dog shit and way too into the like the nerd in the weeds of what it is to be a YouTuber, and don't actually have like that other aspect, that it factor that I think makes you a great YouTuber. So I think that's 100% true. But there's like a balance, and AI as a tool is like, it just factually is effective and is only going to get more effective. I'm thinking like an air rack. And there's no shade to Air Rack. Air Rack is somebody who I think has studied the game tremendously, has learned what it takes to be an amazing YouTuber, and honed that craft to the point where he is now like a fucking 15, 20 million subscriber YouTuber or whatever. So now imagine an Air Rack empowered with AI of today and then an Air Rack empowered with AI of 5 years from now. It's like I think they would just get to that point a lot quicker.
Tool that you can
Hoyo First already had AI protections. I think the whole strike was to get some protection against AI. And like there's a tentative agreement, so that's why people are back on their jobs. But there are people that still not happy, and that's why they're refusing work. And it's not just AI, but it's like, it's a whole bunch of things. Hoyo First wasn't part of the strike. Was it? I thought it was. Like, there's a bunch of voice actors that just didn't work and didn't talk and didn't play Hoyo first. Like, as far as I know, like, Sayu didn't... It's a work refusal? I thought it was part of a strike. Was Hoyo first part of the video game strike? It was not part of the SAG after. Oh, so that was just. Oh, so it was solidarity. Does Hoyo first have AI protection for voice actors? It has AI protections. I also hate this, right? There's just an AI summary. And I hate the fact that Google was so good for years, then it became so much worse. And the only reason it's like at all usable is because of the AI overview. Fucking sucks. So that's why I'm like, I cannot fully judge people that use AI to certain degrees. Because I'm just as guilty of it. My problem lies with like the creative jobs, mostly. Because this is a good way to use AI to actually get information into the hands of the people. Even though it's still flawed, right? But it's still like, it actually uses sources. And the rest of Google, the thing we've talked about earlier, the difference between AI and algorithm, AI just looked over this. Like, if you would task a person, being like, hey, I have a question. Can you give me an overview of what the answer is? A human could come up with this as well. Oh, there's an ad? Okay. Hi, Catty Maddie. Welcome in. Let me turn on the music while we're waiting for people. Like, a human could come up with this, but an algorithm could not. Because an algorithm doesn't have, like, an understanding of the world. It can just give you, like, oh, these are the top results. Which I think these are. And because the Google algorithm has started favoring partners and other sites that make them a lot of money, and there's definitely a lot of bias in that algorithm to favor those websites, you sometimes cannot even find what you're actually looking for. Because if you like look at most things, you have like Reddit at the top, but that's because they cannot avoid Reddit being at the top because people will use it. Mostly because Google is so dog shit. But then also like official websites, because yeah, duh. But then Facebook and Twitter. And there's another AI tool. And TikTok, but that's also really popular. But sometimes I'm looking for something and I only get like things that are obviously promoted. Like the actual like journalist pages are only in the second page, right? But there's so many YouTube videos on this. There's so many like actual informative stuff that's just not even on here. And to get what the AI told me, that would require real effort just because Google search algorithm is so bad now. The YouTube algorithm also got like worse because YouTube is a search engine first and foremost. And it became a content platform, but it was a search engine for the most part. And sometimes it's really hard to find something. Okay, let's wrap up this video as soon as possible so we can actually go and watch the thing that we were supposed to watch. But I needed to get this out of my system. I need to check something. Awesome. Everyone back? Now I can continue with our journey. Okay, let's wrap this up quickly and then continue to watch what we were actually here for.
Click, upload a face you do like, and it will instantly swap it onto the thumbnail. To show you how simple this is, I'm gonna take a photo of my face, okay? I'm now gonna hit face swap and take the thumbnail from this to this automatically. I could go on and on.
It doesn't even look like him. That's the problem.
No more complicated Photoshop and having to get a PhD in how to edit things and figure out what 1,000 buttons do. Now you can literally just type into a prompt what you want and it'll give it to you.
It's, oh man, he's like making it out to be that you need a PhD to understand Photoshop. Did you guys know that when I got my job as a thumbnail artist, I'd never opened Photoshop before, ever? I learned it on the job. And look what I make now. It's literally everyone can learn it.
It's funny to say all that because like you're also just using AI in Photoshop now. Yeah, I mean the backlash to this was pretty.
Yeah,
extreme.
this was AI in Photoshop. I hate it so much.
Of MrBeast having literally called out people for putting their face on his thumbnails. Also, it costing $80 a month. Had a chat with MrBeast about his AI thumbnail creation tool. While I'm uncertain what will happen moving forward, I voiced my thoughts directly to him. Great idea. Want to make content creation more accessible, but this isn't remotely the solution to that, and actually fundamentally hurts creators as a whole. Just mentioning because I think it's important to note that he reached out, even though we started largely disagree, leaving everything up to disc.
Also, this was after Point Crow pointed out. Funny. Point Crow points something out. The whole thing of MrBeast stealing stuff, because this was on the 21st of June. This is also on the 21st of June. And this is on 11 a.m. This was 5 p.m. for me. I differ 9 hours with Ludwig, so that was after. Like, in the few hours after, they worked together. Hi, welcome in, Coco Cosmos.
Encourage this still.
We're almost done with this.
Count this hopefully as a book and to the saga cheers. I appreciate the feedback. Love the YouTube community more than anyone can remotely comprehend. Already working on changes like face swap should only be used to swap your face on your thumbnail.
I really am curious on how he's gonna enforce that. Because if it's like you have to register that is your channel and it can only pull thumbnails through the tool, then maybe. But if you have to import thumbnails to do the face swap on, you can still like copy paste someone else's thumbnail and pass it off as your own. So like, it's gonna be really hard to enforce.
No, not others. Okay, that's good. And overall, I'll build this way more to be inspiration for artists as a tool rather than replacing them. Very good feedback. My goal with ViewStats is to build tools to level the playing field between people like me with 300 employees and new creators who can't afford a small army. $80.
That's not a bad thing.
By the way,
small creators don't have $80 a month to begin with, so I don't know what he thinks of that.
People who I know that do use ViewStats like it. Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing I would want. Like, I have a tool right now where I can go to copyright and I can see if anyone has a video that matches my videos. I could take down Lily Pichu's reaction of me in my first tip to tip video.
Oh yeah, and it also shows you how much of a match it is. So like, I uploaded a clip from one of Ironmouse's streams because I used to work on a VOD channel, and I want to send it to a friend because she was reacting to cosplays of her, and I didn't have Nitro, so I was like, I need to send this clip, it's too big, let's upload it to YouTube and send it a listed link. But because I uploaded that before the actual VOD came out, because I had access to it, I now can take down that VOD because I was first. So this system is flawed, but it is very helpful. Gotta go, friends, coming over at 9. Yeah, still clean the... Ooh, good luck. Have fun with Digital Circus? Thank you. I'll put the VOD up as soon as I can.
Because it is 80% my video. And like, this is all good. And I don't think I've ever used this to take something down, because I don't think I'm ever getting the short end of the stick candidly. Like, I don't mind if people react to my videos. I don't mind if people re-edit
a lot of those
as long
videos
as
had
they
like a
follow the
million
rules.
views.
But I think what needs to exist, which I don't see, is this exact feature, but with my thumbnails. I think if my thumbnail was being tracked as like 95 to 100% matching someone else's thumbnail, I would just take that shit down. But anyway, chat, I do believe in the indomitable power of the human spirit. And although we might think that this is the global issue that will end the world as we know it, or some of you might think that, every time we have been proven wrong. If we are looking at the greatest time to be the greatest time to be alive, like in the history of humanity, like it's now, you know, like 50 years ago, pretty tough if you're gay. 70 years ago, pretty tough if you're not white. We are making general improvements. I believe we'll continue as humanity to make general improvements. And I don't think AI is the war that we lose where everything goes to shit. And
I'm not fully agreeing because something I said earlier, right? If you're not honing skills and keeping up with them, you unlearn them or you never learn them to begin with. And as soon as AI like dies or it starts to like get worse or you need your skills, you won't have them. And a really big part of why humanity as a whole works is because of our creative skills. And if we lose that creativity because we automate everything, we're gonna lose a lot of drive in life and things will stagnate and probably get worse. Like, it's really easy to get into like a post-apocalyptic setting without even having an apocalypse just because we just lost our creativeness. Like, AI is a tool. And we have used a lot of like digitization and automation, etc. And that has replaced jobs. But there's also other jobs that come back for it. But on the other hand, as soon as we automate enough things so nobody has to work a 40-hour work week. No, let me rephrase it. As soon as we automate enough things in the world that can be automated, and the world can actually like function without every single person that is able to working 40 hours a week, we should be able to work less for the same pay because machines are doing the rest, right? And then do what we as humans do best. Be fucking creative. Because a big concern, like what he said with like the t-shirts, is because it's like getting rid of jobs that are getting no replacements in a time where jobs were rare. And they still had to work 40 hours a week for the same or worse pay. As soon as that pay is not going down and there's enough replacement jobs, it's not going to be a problem to automate stuff. Because everyone wants to work less for the same or more pay. I think a lot of people that do creative work would also love to be able to just do it for fun. But they have to make it work because that's their skill. Oh, there's like a whole ethical debate I can go on with that.
I could be proven wrong, 5 seconds. But I don't think I will be, based off of humanity's track record.
Thank you. Thank you, Ludwig. This was really informative. Thank you for the follow, Fabian1. Yeah, just in case I didn't phrase that right, AI stealing jobs, digitization stealing jobs are all bad things. But it's mostly a bad thing is because it doesn't have a replacement or people are worse off after. As soon as that doesn't happen anymore, digitization, automation is not a bad thing. Because a lot of people, we require a lot of upkeep. And if things are automated that should be automated because it's just tedious work, that's a good thing. As long as people don't suffer from the change. Because automation and digitization should work to make things easier, not harder. And the problem with AI taking over creative works is because that's the human aspect. In an ideal world, things are automated. Wait. Oh, man. I'm okay. Because in an ideal world, people wouldn't work, they would just live. And they can eat, and they can go places, and make art, consume art, and just be human beings without being tied to a desk for 40 hours a week. Unless people choose to do that. That would be the ideal world. So what is the point if AI also takes away that part of us? Because there are, like, it is not unrealistic that a majority of everything that makes the world tech can be automated. Because it doesn't require people. If we just haven't automated it, or people are just too greedy to invest into the automation. But currently, a lot of that automation is just also used to, like, lay off people so they don't have to pay the actual people to do the work. And that's scummy. Anyway, I think I'm done ranting about this now. I'm very passionate about thumbnails. Holy shit. Let's go and watch the actual thing we're here for. Okay. The Amazing Digital Circus. Oh wait, I can just go to the glitch page. Glitch Productions. Yay! Sorry it took so long. I need to get that out of my system. I really needed to get that out. I wouldn't have been able to keep that till the end.